Hello, my friends. Alex here. I'm a nervous system coach. I'm helping you mastering your energy so you can start actualizing your ideal life. Today, we talk about the journey a lot. We talk about the process. And today we're going to talk about and zone in on to one of the very, I would say, more prominent emotions that we have to navigate expressively, suppressed, expressed, and that is anger. Anger is such a powerful emotion for us to navigate. And I want to zone in a little bit deeper to that. And I want to talk about the transmutation of anger and the benefit of anger along the path. The benefit of anger. Yeah, the benefit of anger. I'm just taking a moment now, just like feeling into my process of anger, of suppressed anger, of not being able to express properly, not knowing how to express properly, having trouble with my development growing up, being very introverted and reclusive and not being able to articulate anything and verbalize anything, not knowing what's going on inside, like my emotions, what's happening within me, like not knowing anything and then not being able to just choking, like, oh my God, I can't express anything, man. I was just so choked up right now. I'm so choked up. Yeah. Oh man, I'm sure you can relate, man. But like anger, man. Yeah, just seeing it kind of ebb and flow with like, oh God, just feeling that rawness now, guys. It's just coming out of me. It's just coming out of me. But I wanted to let's talk about the benefits. Let's talk about the benefits of anger. Because anger, when transmuted, can be very, 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 very beneficial. It's very beneficial because once transmuted, it can be directed into what do I want to become? Wherever I am now, anger can be very much expressed with the confusion of where we are right now, with how we're experiencing life. You know, we have those moments where we hit rock bottom. We're trying to figure stuff out, conceptually as always, trying to feel into it, trying to think about how can I redirect my life? And this is where anger really comes in fantastically and something I've personally found really invaluable. And it's propelled me to leave relationships that just weren't in alignment anymore. My inner alignment, of course, like this, where I know the relationships I've been in have all been an expression of what's been going on within me, but because there's been an inner alignment shift, it's now worked out that energetically we're not supposed to be together. And there's been this eruption of like anger, this no, this is not me. And this is when this is when your intuition starts to become a little bit less quiet and subtle. And it's like, you've got to move. You've got to change. You've got to change. You've got to change. Something's got to catch. Something's got to change. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. And I've had those really poignant moments where I've had these shifts, where I've had these really powerful things flash into my consciousness that this isn't the way. This is not the way. This is not the way. I've had it with jobs. I've had it with relationships. I've had it with my energy, my physical health, my mental health. We could just have that moment where this isn't it. And this is where when we transmute anger, we experience that frustration there. And this is where we have a crossroads where if we let anger marinate, we'll go into frustration and bitterness. That's one fork of the road and we go down there, which means we stay where we are. The bitterness, the swallowing of our words, the regret, bitterness, all of that starts to marinate, which keeps us in this same place, that's when we know deep experientially that we haven't transmuted the anger because it hasn't been transmuted into a form of positive energy. And we end up marinating within the negativity. And I don't know about you, I've experienced that, and I haven't always transmuted anger. I'm not this prophetic guy, that's had it all together. Definitely not. It's been trial and error, trying to figure this out, navigating it. And there's been times when I've gone down the marination of bitterness, resentment, and staying in the uncomfortable position that I'm in and not transmuting anger. Because more often than not, it's done at the beginning, start of like our journey, like unconsciously going on. We have this moment where we're more unconscious about it, then become more conscious about our emotional framework, and running really a lot of the times on this unconscious transmutation of like anger into, channel it into, right, okay, this is where I am, this is where I want to go. And that's where it's really cool, because your approach to life, your approach to your journey, your habits, behaviors, thoughts all shift and come into alignment with more so where you want to go, like what's your new direction. And if you don't transmute it, you're less in alignment with the future that you want to get pulled into, and you just navigate the now with the bitterness, resentment, and suppressed anger in this moment, and you just focus on like the gnarliness of the now, which keeps us stuck and which keeps us trapped. And we create this really like gnarly little cage of like discomfort that we're like that we know which kind of choosing, we're subconsciously choosing it. And it's like, oh God, I am choosing this. I'm creating all of this. Why am I doing it? But but what our spirit will naturally guide us, man. Like we'll naturally be guided into unconscious transmutation. We'll naturally be guided into new choices, and the new choices are, as we transmute anger, we'll start to transmute it into more of a profound acceptance. We'll transmute it into like a really heart-based desire that's pulling us into a new future. And then we'll start to notice that we're like, oh, maybe we'll go from like anger, fear, bitterness, resentment, and then we'll go into like excitement. We'll go into curiosity. We'll go into these really cool new energy fields of potentiality and possibility. So really feel into that. And I want this to be a positive video on anger. I want it to be a positive video, man. I want us to embrace anger. I want it to be anger to be something that we can hold in reverence, that it's a powerful tool for growth and change and moving forward. Because anger, when expressed, it's just that, like, it's our animal brain. It's part of our animal brain. It's part of that old part of the brain that's like just animal based and animal nature. And you know, the spiritual journey is about transcending and evolving past the animal brain, you know, and it's just noticing that we have these characteristics. And that's when we know we're evolving as humans. We've got to that higher capacity and potential, because we can start to recognize this. We can start to recognize this, the anger and all that kind of stuff, the old brain, animal brain stuff. That's part of the old story. That's part of the old story. And I talk about the old story, the new story a lot, because that's what essentially we're doing at the minute, individually and collectively. We're all changing, and we're all changing our story. We're all changing the story that we have been telling ourselves, that very much stems from those older physiological mechanisms of the animal brain. So big, guys. That's so massive to feel into. And you can start becoming more compassionate and understanding, knowing that it's just a part of evolution. And it's like, this is just what's been going on for like tens of thousands, millions of years, you know. It's just like, oh, that's just the way it is. Yeah. And anger, bringing it back to anger positive. Just so feel into your life right now. Feel into anywhere where you feel like you're stuck. Feel into any way where you're kind of suppressing anger, that you have like unconscious resentment and any unconscious gnarliness going on that's keeping you trapped within, whether that's a job, whether that's a relationship. Look at your external world and see how you're engaging with it. That is a telltale sign of where you are at. It's so symbolic of what we are suppressing, particularly what we're suppressing. 100%. Like really kind of like look into the way you speak, the thoughts you have, the conversations that you're having, the company that you keep, the way you express yourself. How is it all marinating, man? How is it all intertwining together, and see into and zone into like your life and feel into where could I transmute anger? Where could I transmute it into courage? That's it, man. Just came to me now. What a leap. Going from anger to courage. Going from anger to courage. Courage is phenomenal. And they are really intimately linked. And you can see the energy and the nuances and the connectivity of energy patterns and how they're so intimate, man. Like, yeah, anger into courage, like just feeling that now. And like, where can you do that? How can you transmute anger into courage? Courage will take you into higher vibrational energy fields. It will take you higher up, man. It will take you out of the gnarliness. I'm not saying all the gnarliness is going to stop. No way, no how. I'm not saying that. Definitely not. But there's a gradient process. There's a gradient line. And you'll just feel it. You'll feel the difference. You'll feel a different pull. That's what I'm saying. You'll feel a new future. You'll be being pulled into a new timeline. Because like the timeline of being angry, bitter, resentment compared to courage, acceptance, joy, neutrality, peace, bliss, happiness. Oh, totally different, man. Those timelines are totally different. And you have the power within you now to transmute any negative emotion into something positive, whether it's fear, whether it's anger. But let's bring it back to anger, because we know we like a bit of anger. The thing is as well, what keeps us in anger, bitterness and resentment is that little secret joy and passion, that secret like and desire that we get from being angry. Being angry comes with such a massive payoff. David Hawkins talks about this very well. It's the juice that we get from anger that keeps us there as humans. And we have to be willing to overlook the juice, the goodness that we get from the anger. This is just dropping in now. Yeah, we have to be willing to overlook that. That's probably the biggest unconscious, subtle, nuanced challenge that we have when it comes to letting go of anger and going into a different timeline of change. This is a whole new different experience. We have to be prepared to let go of it and dive into the complete unknown, 100%. So guys, feel into your experience, feel into your emotional framework, your emotional experience, your energetic experience. And where can you now start applying conscious transmutation of anger? Now you've got this knowledge, how can you use it, bring it in and start be like, yeah, I'm feeling this, I'm nailing this, I don't like this, man. It's time for me to move, it's time for me to shift, it's time for me to evolve to the next stage of my journey and evolution. Yes. But sending you so much love, guys. Just want to end this like this. We don't need to worry. It's all cool. We've got all these programs that are playing out, unconscious ones, conscious ones, slightly conscious, but mainly unconscious patterns going out. We just need to work through. We just need to work through them, and it's okay. There's going to be this gradient process of change. And I want you to know that you're doing your best with where you are right now. You are absolutely doing your best. And I'm going to send you so much love. And I already can't wait for the next video I'm going to do. And I'll see you there.